When I first enrolled in this African American literature course, I only did it because I basically had to. Um, I really didn't know what to expect, but I figured, oh, it's an English class, so probably going to be writing a lot of papers and learning about a lot of African American history. I figured that we would probably be talking about slavery, civil rights, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, the normal. From our first class meeting, I could already tell that what my expectation was for the course was nothing like what it was going to be like. I remember one of our first assignments, we talked about vernacular that was attributed to African Americans many, many years ago. And once we looked at visuals and did readings, it kind of made me think like, is this really how people perceive us?
Listen, Mammy, there ain't no way to wash clothes. What you all need is rhythm.
What do you all mean, rhythm?
I'll show you what I mean.
People on the outside looking in never took the time to try to understand why black people spoke the way that they spoke or why they acted the way that they acted. They just adopted the idea that we were an ignorant group of people. We then began to talk about slavery, the perils that came along with it. I had never thought about how enslaved black people really escaped. Of course, I've heard of the Underground Railroad, but it wasn't until we came upon this reading about a slave girl who was trying to escape that I really noticed what African American people endured in order to try to escape to a better life. 13th, the documentary. This was one of the absolute best things that I watched throughout this course. It really gave me a different outlook on the prison system and how it's designed for black people to fail and white people to make money.
All the slaves back in the 1850s.
We are the products of the history that our ancestors chose. Products of that set of choices that we have to understand in order to escape from it.
Then I started to realize that a lot of black people back then started to think how I was thinking as I sat in my classroom. Like, what can be done to change this stigma against black people? That was when we began to start talking about black power and the black arts movement. It was a group of different artists and activists who decided that it was time for a change. It was time for some new ideas other than what white people thought about black people to come to the forefront.
For civil rights.
What do you mean
They
by
have
fought?
begged for civil rights. They have begged the white man for civil rights. They have begged the white man for freedom. And anytime you beg another man to set you free, you will never be free. Freedom is something that you have to do for yourselves. And until the American Negro lets the white man know that we are really, really ready and willing to pay the price that is necessary for freedom, our people will always be walking around here second-class citizens, or what you call 20th century slaves.
From this course, I really learned to appreciate how far black people have really come. For anyone who doesn't know or doesn't even think about what it's like or how we've gotten to where we are today or the reasons for things that are still happening today, I would recommend taking this course. Not only just for black people, but for any race of people. just to understand what we've went through and why we act the way that we do. I mean, this was a course that was life-changing. Even though I went in not thinking about what I could really get out of it, I'm really glad that I took this course. And I'm especially glad that I took it with Dr. Benson. She's the bomb.com.